Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Erica and this is Erica Lena Stitches. Welcome to flosstube number 2. I have had so much fun over the last week working on some new things, and the community has been so open, inspiring, and encouraging, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to the 47 people that watched my first video and to those that did subscribe to the channel and liked that video. I really, truly appreciate that. I'm hoping the algorithm will pick me up so that other people that may come into the world of cross stitch brand new can see my journey along the way, but also the more seasoned cross stitchers may pick up my channel and give me some much needed advice. So please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. You can also find me on Instagram as Erica Lena Stitches. So I have got a little bit of a haul for you. I mentioned in the last video that I did attend the Midsummer Stitch that was hosted by Lindy Stitches. So I did get those purchases. I've got 3 starts to show you. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a little bit of it. And then I also created a to be stitched jar. So once I get to this point, I will actually put in the reel that I created for Instagram that so you can see what this is all about. And then I will show you what I picked. But first, let's get to what I have been working on. So you will have to excuse the look of the cloth. Unfortunately, I do not have a iron here. I do have a steamer that I use for my knitting and crochet. So the next time I'm in town around the house, I will grab. Have any of you ever used a steamer for the cloth? Would that work? Obviously, I think I would probably want to do it on the back side first just to make sure. But I do have one of those. This is one of those bags that I did show you from my Amazon haul, the ones that were all folded together. It does seem to be a pretty good size. So far I'm happy with this. I think there was like 5 of them in there. Currently in this bag is Christmas Rose by Needle and Moss. This is a stitch along that is going on, that is hosted by Leah of The Blooming Stitcher and Gretchen of Rushing Rabbit Studios. That is their Instagram name. I am really, truly enjoying this. I need to look up Gretchen's channel and watch some of her flosstube as well. I think I have made quite a bit of progress on this. It is on the hoop because it is my current work in progress. And I do kind of just have all the thread thrown down in here in the bottom. I'm still trying to figure out what system I want to use for that. But this is what I have gotten done so far. I'm really happy with how it's coming out. I did have to make a minor change. The fabric that I am using is St. Charles DMC, and this is a 18 count Aida, but it calls for a 40 count linen in the color Patriots Brew, which is a little bit darker of an oatmealish looking color. And the white that is used right here on the pattern for the snow and for the actual circle around the frame there is the same exact color as this. So I did substitute it for 02, which is 10, I think it looks fine. And I did make one mistake. I did not realize when I was doing the holly here at the top that every other one was a different shade of red. I wasn't really, obviously wasn't paying close enough attention to that. So I think what I'm going to do to keep it cohesive is I'm going to do the same color across the top and the bottom. And then I will either do the rotating holly on the sides, or I'll do the other color here on the sides. Haven't quite decided yet. This sal does end on the end of the month, which is what, 2 days from now, 3 days from now. So I don't think that I will get this done in time. So this may be one that goes into a stitch rotation, so that way I can start working on other things. But nonetheless, this is what I've got done, and I'm very happy with it. The next thing that I have been working on is, they are currently living in Michael's bags. Again, please pardon my fabric because it is not ironed. This is a 14-pound Aida. This is Cardinals Up Here by TJ Designs. I had already started it. I had another leaf over here, but I completely miscounted and had to rip it out. So I do need to get a seam ripper, I have discovered. Trying to cut that thread with my little snips here and pull it out with the needle was not a fun process. Not at all. So I do need to get a seam ripper and at least to have it around if I need it. I sat this down when I found out about the Christmas Rose Sal. So I do need to pick this back up because this is going to be a gift. Also, I saw in the most recent Just Cross Stitch magazine, they had a Halloween edition come out, and I just thought that the rubber duckies were so cute. So I decided to start that. Now, having said that, when I initially started this is also on a, I believe, no, this one was a 14 count Charles Aida. I got this one at Michael's, St. Charles. When I initially started this project, it was going to be for my cousin that drives a Jeep. And it's got little rubber duckies all the way around it in different costumes. But I was not remembering that my other cousin's wife also drives a Jeep. So I think what I might do is take this out completely, do a couple more duckies here of the different designs, and then cut them out, stuff it, and make it into like a little key fob or a mirror fob or something like that that they can put on their Jeep rearview mirror. So that's a thought process. If I do that, I might even just rip all of this out and do it on a different cloth. So my question is, once you've had something already stitched, how long can it be in there and you safely take it out to reuse the fabric? That is my question to you. I don't know the answer to that. I do know if it had anything to do with crocheting or knitting that you would want to rewash the yarn, re-hank it, and then reskein it. But I don't know what you would do with the fabric. If you've run into that, or you've decided to change something altogether, how long were your stitches in? If you could give me kind of an idea on that, I would really appreciate that. Also, do you think the idea of making like the little rear view mirror fob would be cute? I could stuff it with the crushed walnuts. Could you put like a scent in it, like maybe lavender or something? Would that hold up? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So that is all of my whips. That's all of my works in progress. I know this, I know there's not a lot, but I feel for me being brand new, that is a big accomplishment. I did notice in the last video that I did not really introduce myself fully, so I will take this time to do that. Again, my name is Erica Lena. I live in South Carolina with my husband. We have 3 adult boys and 1 grandson, so there still is no girls in our immediate family, and we have 1 niece that belongs to my husband's brother. So we are just rich in boys. I mentioned that we do have a home, but we stay a lot in our RV because of our farm animals. If that is something that interests you, I could put some pictures or videos in here from time to time. We do have 1 cow. He is a Zebu cow, and he has a little hump. We have several dogs, several pigs. We have chickens. We have turkeys. We have a lot of deer that come around. We have lots of deer cameras up, and we have feeders to make sure that they are eating and drinking in this drought that we're having. One of them is actually bringing up their baby, so lots of pictures of that. We do have 2 cats that are in and outside. They stay inside and they go outside. So you may see them walking around in here from time to time. Other than that, let's see, I grew up as a military brat. My stepfather was in the Air Force, and we moved all over for many, many different years, states, and countries. I was fortunate enough to be in Germany to see the difference before the wall went down. Unfortunately, I was too young to appreciate the experience that I had while I was there. I primarily stay at home now. I unfortunately had to retire somewhat early. I was employed as a surgical technologist and worked in the OR hand side by side with the doctors during surgeries, and I absolutely loved it. But I was born with what is called hip dysplasia, bilateral hip dysplasia, which just means both hip joints, and they did not form normally. They're more shallow, so my hips, my left hip slipped in and out of the socket all the time growing up. I had numerous surgeries and was a patient of Shriners Hospital in St. Louis for a very, very long time. I had my first hip replacement at age 39 on the left side, my second hip replacement at age 41 on the right side, and my first knee replacement at age 52 on the right side. I was contemplating on going back to work PRN, which means if you're not in the medical field, just means kind of as needed. I've had my applications out. I've had some interviews. And lo and behold, on July 5th, I was walking from the gravel to the dirt. And I twisted my left ankle, and I tried to correct myself and twisted the right ankle inwards and outwards. So I unfortunately now have a posterior malleolus fracture, which basically means the little bony protrusion on the back of the tibia on the back of the foot is fractured. Thankfully, it's not displaced, so I am currently wearing a lovely boot that I have to wear in this lovely South Carolina weather. I know it's probably going to be on for at least 6 more weeks. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't do any more damage. So I have been doing some shopping. I mentioned that I attended the Midsummer Stitch virtual retreat hosted by Lindy Stitches. And I had never been to any type of cross stitch retreat. I was only like, well, no, I wasn't even officially one day in yet because I didn't even have anything to work on at the retreat. So I was like a brand new cross stitch baby. But here is my package from Lindy Stitches. This is what I ordered through the retreat. I also ordered some stuff on her website. So I don't know if it's combined or not. We will have to see. We will have to see. So what do we got in here? Yeah, it looks like they might have combined everything. So let me show you this first thing first. It says do not bend, and they bent it. Yeah, of course. So I did get this t-shirt. It says Midsummer Stitch 2026. I did get it a little bit bigger than I would normally wear because it said it's 100% cotton, so I'm not sure that it's going to shrink, but I thought it was so cute. I did want to get that to commemorate my very first cross stitch retreat. So that is one thing that I did get. Now, this I'm going to have to pull out very, very carefully because, again, they bent it, and some of the stuff I don't even remember what I purchased. So let's just see. Oh, I've got some candy. I just love these little coffee candies. My mom has these all the time, and I really like these. So I did get this little stitch minder, and this is from Stitchonomy. Let me move this up so I can see it. Yep, Stitchonomy. And let me pull this down. This is what the name of it, Stitchonomy. And this is the actual needle minder. I thought this was so cute. Now, with this being combined, I'm not sure what I got on the retreat and what I actually got from her store. So I'm pretty sure, you know what, I'm not going to speak to that because I'm not pretty sure. Okay, so this is a complimentary chart designed in 2018 as a 16th century word that today would express hooray or hurrah, which is the same word that they use for the Marines, if I'm not mistaken. So let me put something up against this because the chart is here on the other side. But that is what the complimentary chart says, and it says huzzah. And it's got 2026, and then it's got this little patriotic man on the top holding the flag. That's cute. That's cute. I'm gonna have to find a file system for my paper charts. I'm thinking like one of those accordion type file folders, because again, being in the RV, we just don't have a lot of room for a lot of extra stuff, but I want them to stay safe. This is another one, this Tellin emblem, and it's by Chrisanne Tellin, and it is called Scissor Sampler. I'm pretty sure that this was an exclusive for the retreat, because I vaguely remember purchasing this from the shop. Now, it could have been something that they just had on the retreat store and that it is available in other places, but I'm pretty sure that I got this on the actual retreat storefront. I also got, this is called The Kitchen Garden by The Drawn Thread. It says pepper, onion, carrot, tomato, homegrown peas, radishes, lettuce, cucumbers. Is that not cute? I love that. So that will go into my rotation to make. It almost kind of reminds me of one that I am working on for myself that I'm designing on Mac Stitch. It's similar. Nothing as good as this. Nothing as good as this. And then this was an exclusive, I'm almost positive. This is Summer Day by JetX. This might have been one from last year. Again, being so brand new, I didn't know. I was so excited. I didn't take a lot of notes. But this is by JetX. I'm pretty sure that this calls for a 40 count dolomite, and I did not get that one. I did get one download that I showed last week, and that was, let me look this up because this is the fabric that goes with that download. This fabric is the 40 count summer khaki linen. Y'all, I don't know about this. This is for the pattern Sunny Side by JetX, which is a retreat exclusive. I will put a picture of it over here. Y'all, I don't know about this. All right, let me take off my peepers here. I'm going to take off my glasses so that I can actually see. Especially this little thread. Like, how do you stitch on this? Like, how do you know where to stitch? I'm going to have to do some research on that for sure before I even attempt to do anything that small. So this may be staying in my stash for a little bit. Are there any tutorials out there? Yeah. Not sure about that one. Not sure at all. But I did get some more fabric. I got an 18 count Stormy Clouds Ada by Zygarde. I also got an 18 count Earthen by PTP Fabrics through Lindy Stitches. So I think what I am discovering just from looking at said cloths, that I am going to be an Ada girl. That linen looks scary. I don't know if I could do anything on that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch some tutorials on this. Can you help a girl out? I don't know about that one. So that is that part of my haul. And I also did get 2 more needle minders. Iced coffee girly, because yes, I am. I drink iced coffee every morning. I'm not a hot drinker, but I do love coffee, so I drink iced coffee. And then this one is a cute little cat looking at the moon. I have a black cat. Her name is Pearl. P-U-R-L, like knit and pearl, not like the stone. And it kind of reminded me of her. So I love that. That is my haul from the Midsummer Stitch Retreat. So now I'm going to insert my little Instagram reel to show you how I made my to be stitched jar. Hi friends, I am so new to the world of cross stitch that I decided to create a to be stitched jar. I have put some designers in here that are new to me so that I can draw out of this each week to find either a new pattern or work on one that I may have already started from that designer. And this is how I did it. Okay, so I'll go into a little bit more in depth and in detail. I have been watching several videos over the last week or so, 2 weeks, and whenever anybody shows what they're working on, if it is something that kind of strikes my eye, I have been writing down the designer. And not necessarily the pattern, but the designer. And then I numbered them. So far, I have 20. So, again, my thought process behind this was that this is going to be a way for me to find new patterns by new designers, because they're all new to me because I'm new to this world. So this would give me the opportunity to try different designers and different cross stitch patterns to see what I like. I think that I have decided that I like the Ada though. So I wrote everything down. I numbered I put the numbers on these little post-it note things here, and then I folded them up and put them in here. So what I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to do in the beginning is just draw from the list of designers. And then once I've got one of those started, maybe I will also number the actual design and put it on here, although I'm not 100% sure how I want to do that because I want it to be fair. I don't want to like just grab something, although I could say, you know what, it's time to do a whip this week, let's pull something out instead of starting something. So I don't know, we'll have to play around with it, see how it works. But my first pick, if you didn't see that on Instagram, was number 16, which is Lori Holt. And she is with Bee in My Bonnet. And I have picked Hattie the chicken. She is the number 3 chicken in the chicken club. And she is adorable. I already have some oatmeal colored Ada that in my stash, a 14 count that I think would look perfect. I did look at the glosses. I don't have those colors, but there's only 9 colors in the whole chart. So I think that is adorable, especially with, you know, being on a farm. I think that that's going to be perfect to add some little, you know, a little bit more decoration here to the old RV. I'm just going to put this back into the jar. I pull her number again. For the time being, I will just work on that chart. So that is exciting. I think that's going to be a fun way, like I said, to try new charts and new designs. I also need to add these patterns that I currently have to my numbers list here, so that way I will have a running width list. I also did create the spreadsheet that I talked to you about. I have created one spreadsheet so far with 3 tables. One is for the floss stash, one is for whips, and one is for sals. I'm kind of old school as far as writing things down, but I also like to have the spreadsheet for it because the floss part was a big help. I went in there and inputted every floss that I have and how many of those that I have. So that's helped out a lot. I don't know how many DMC flosses there are, but I have 68 different colors of the DMC floss so far, and some of them have quite a bit of duplicates. So I guess just getting started, when I was trying to kit it up, I didn't realize that I had multiples. Now, some of the ones that I just have 2 for, I do know that when I was at the store, if there was only 2 left, I did go ahead and get the second one just because I'm still so new. I'm not quite sure how much floss I'm going to be using. So I'm sure I will have a lot. I do have a question. I have found that my thread knots in the back, and it doesn't matter if I have a longer piece of thread or a short piece of thread, it always seems to want to knot. Is that where the beeswax comes in? Do I need to beeswax my thread? Or am I holding the needles wrong? Or maybe I'm stitching wrong? If you could help me with that question, I would really appreciate it. I think that's it. I think that is it for now. I have, like I said, I've showed you my whips. I've talked about my to be stitched jar. I showed you my haul. And we are currently at like 48 minutes. I know some of this will be removed because you were just sitting here looking at me as I was looking for something. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. And then I'm also trying to come up with a schedule as far as getting these videos out. But I am so excited to start Hattie the chicken. I am so excited. I was watching Leslie of Itching to Stitch here on flosstube. If you haven't seen her videos, go check her out. She's got a lot of great cross stitch whips going on, and she does a different system as far as picking what she's going to work on for the week. But she showed this project in her most recent floss tube, which is floss tube number 3. And it is the Flea Market Baskets by Holt, which is why I wrote this name down. Originally, when I drew her name, I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. But when I saw that chicken, I was like, nope, that's it. Erica is stitching a chicken. Yes, I'm going to be stitching a chicken, and I love it. I am so excited to start that one. I will have to put my order in for my floss and pick that up, but I'm excited to start that one. I don't know when I will get to it, but it will be sometime this week. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm still trying to figure out my routine. I don't know if I want to do it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. I know that a lot of people do a different schedules. What are your thoughts? Do you like to see videos weekly, bi-weekly, that kind of thing? Obviously, it would not be daily. If you want to see what I'm doing daily, that would be on Instagram, would be the best place to find that. Because I do other crafts as well. I do crochet and I do knit, so I'm trying to find my balance, and I love to loom knit socks. So I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. But I think I have found my happy. I think I have found my happy. So I think that is all for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I didn't have a lot to show, but I do have a lot to talk about. And until next time, happy stitching, friends. Bye.